Welcome back to the deep dive. So, have you ever watched the news, maybe during a campaign, and felt like you needed some kind of decoder ring just to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, you're not alone. American political dramas, they really tap into that, don't they?
They really do. That whole world of intrigue, conspiracy, power struggles. It's fascinating.
And today we're diving into a specific one, the 2011 film The Ides of March, directed by George Clooney.
Exactly. And our mission really is to look at the analysis of this film. It's based on a play called Farragut North, and pull out that central theme. The clash between political ideals, that bright-eyed hope, and the often brutal reality of politics.
Okay, so let's set the scene. You've got Ryan Gosling playing Stephen Meyers. He's this brilliant young media consultant, very idealistic.
Right. He's working for Governor Mike Morris, who's played by Clooney himself. Morris is making a run for the Democratic presidential nomination.
And the film catches them right in the thick of it. They're in Ohio, which is crucial. They need key backers, endorsements to lock down the nomination. And Stephen, well, he's positioned as the heart of this. For you, the listener, what's important is his motivation. He wants to be in government, making a difference. He genuinely believes in Morris, or at least the image Morris projects.
Yeah, he explicitly says he wants to avoid becoming just another cynical consultant back in Washington.
Precisely. He doesn't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And that belief system, his idealism, that's really the core of the whole film. It's what gets tested.
Okay, so let's talk about the players in this high-stakes game. Because it's not just Stephen and Morris.
No, definitely not. The Morris campaign, it's actually run day-to-day by Paul Zara, a real veteran operator, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Amazing performance.
And their main opponent, the senator from Arkansas, his campaign is run by another seasoned pro, Tom Duffy, played by Paul Giamatti.
So you've got these two heavyweights, Zara and Duffy, who represent the old school, the pragmatic, maybe cynical side of politics.
Against Stephen's idealism. And Morris himself, he claims to be different, right? He talks about truth, representing ordinary people.
Yeah, he makes a point of not bragging about, military service or powerful friends. He's supposedly the clean candidate.
But the advisors, Zara and Duffy, they operate totally differently. They seem to believe that, well, you need the shady deals, the backroom promises.
Absolutely. They think that's the only way to get to the White House. Idealism is nice for the cameras, maybe, but it doesn't win elections in their view.
And the analysis we looked at really hammers this home. It says, Stephen believes in Morris, believes in the ideal.
But the film basically argues these two things. The pure ideal and the dirty reality of winning, they just cannot exist in the one reality.
One has to destroy the other.
Exactly. And Stephen gets caught right in the middle of that collision.
So let's talk about how that happens. The plot points that really force this conflict out into the open. The bombshells.
Right. It's kind of a perfect storm for Stephen. Two things hit him almost at once. First, professionally. Tom Duffy, the rival campaign manager, he calls Stephen directly.
Which is a big deal. Highly unorthodox.
Huge. And Duffy basically tries to poach him. Offers him a job, tries to get him to switch sides, which would obviously cripple Morris's campaign.
And the crucial thing is Stephen listens. He takes the meeting, and he keeps it secret from his own boss, Paul Zara.
That secrecy is the first crack, isn't it? He's already playing a game, considering something ethically dubious, purely out of ambition or curiosity.
Yeah, it's not clear yet why he keeps it secret, but he does. And while he's grappling with that temptation...
The personal side explodes. He's involved with Molly, this young campaign assistant, played by Evan Rachel Wood.
And it turns out Molly isn't just any intern. She's the daughter of the head of the DNC. A very powerful connection.
Right. And Stephen tries to maintain distance, tells her work comes first, keep it separate.
But that doesn't work out. Molly drops this huge bombshell on him, something involving Governor Morris himself.
And this is it. This is the so what moment, the absolute crux. Everything hinges on what Stephen does next.
His whole belief system is on the line. Duffy's offer on one hand, Molly's secret on the other.
It forces him to confront the real ethics of the process. Does he protect the ideal? Does he protect the candidate? Does he protect himself?
Can he even tell the difference anymore? It's the moment the idealist has to decide if he's going to become an operator.
And watching that transformation, that's where Clooney's direction really shines, I think. We should probably talk about him behind the camera.
Yeah, because Ides of March is often seen as like a big step for him as a director, showing he'd really learned some things.
Definitely. You can trace the line from his earlier work. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was interesting, very stylized.
But Good Night and Good Luck, the 2005 film, that feels like the real thematic cousin here, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Good night and good luck was all about holding on to journalistic integrity, sticking to moral truth under immense political pressure during the McCarthy era. Edward R. Murrow.
So that film celebrated idealism holding firm.
Right. And Ides of March, well, it feels almost like the opposite story.
Mm.
It shows what happens when idealism gets crushed by ambition and the system itself.
And Clooney shows real maturity in how he handles it. He lets the story unfold, keeps the focus squarely on Gosling's character, Stephen.
That's a key point. He doesn't try to expand his own role as Governor Morris. He could have, easily. But he keeps Morris slightly opaque, seen mostly through Stephen's eyes.
Which serves the story better. It keeps it about Stephen's disillusionment.
Exactly. It shows confidence, letting his lead actor carry the weight.
Speaking of confidence and calculation, there was that really interesting detail about the film's release, wasn't there? In the context of real-world politics.
Oh yeah, the timing. Apparently the original plan was to shoot and release it much earlier, right around the time Obama was running, I think, for re-election in 2012.
But Clooney, who is known as a pretty high-profile Obama supporter, he decided to push the release back.
Yeah, he deliberately delayed his own film.
Why? Because he didn't want this dark, cynical take on political campaigns hitting theaters while his candidate was actively running.
That seems to be the reasoning, yeah. It suggests he knew the film had power, that its message about the compromises and betrayals in politics might, muddy the waters or distract from Obama's campaign.
That's fascinating. Choosing political alignment over potentially a more timely release for his movie?
It really speaks to how intertwined Hollywood and politics can be and how aware filmmakers are of the potential impact of their work.
Well, putting politics aside, his faith in the film, especially in Ryan Gosling, really paid off, didn't it? The performances are incredible.
Oh, absolutely. Gosling is phenomenal. The analysis we read called him the most interesting actor working in major studio movies around that time.
Which is a big claim, but you see it here. He does so much with so little.
It's that quiet intensity. He conveys this immense internal turmoil, the idealism crumbling, the ambition growing often just through his eyes, his stillness.
And think about who he's acting opposite. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Paul Giamatti. I mean, these are giants.
Right. Actors who can just dominate a scene. They're known for that kind of powerful, sometimes scenery-chewing energy. Hoffman is the weary veteran, Giamatti as the aggressive rival.
Yet somehow, your eye keeps going back to Gosling, to Stephen. He remains the center, even when these guys are going toe-to-toe.
It's impressive. It shows how well he embodied that central conflict, that slow-burn moral collapse. It's a very subtle, powerful performance.
Now, what about the film's pacing? It's quite short, only about 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's tight. But the critique we saw mentioned, and I think it's fair, that the first half takes a little while to really get going.
A lot of setup. Introducing the players, the stakes, the initial dynamic.
Exactly. It's necessary exposition, setting the chessboard. But you need a little patience, perhaps.
But the payoff is worth it.
Oh, definitely. Once those secrets start to unravel, around the midpoint, it just clicks into gear. It becomes incredibly engrossing, a real pressure cooker.
A tight political thriller in that second half.
Totally. It earns that setup, and it stays with you afterwards.
Okay, and before we wrap up, we have to touch on the title, The Ides of March. It's obviously a very deliberate, very loaded choice.
Absolutely loaded. It immediately brings Julius Caesar to mind. March 15th, the day he was assassinated.
Not by foreign enemies, but by his own inner circle. His friends, his colleagues, Brutus.
Exactly. Betrayal from within. And that resonates perfectly with the film's themes.
Because, on the surface, everyone in the Morris campaign, Stephen, Zara, Molly, Morris himself, they're all Democrats. They're supposed to be on the same team, fighting the Republicans.
But the film peels back that layer. It shows the real battles, the real danger often comes from inside your own camp. The rivalry with Duffy, the secrets within the Morris team.
It suggests the political process itself is almost cannibalistic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It implies that to succeed, you might have to destroy your opponents, even those who theoretically share your goals. Sometimes, maybe especially them, blood gets spilled, metaphorically speaking.
Sacrificing people like Stephen Meyers along the way.
Right. The betrayal is baked into the system, the title suggests.
So, summing up for the listener, The Ides of March. It's a smart, gripping political story. Really worth watching.
Highly recommended, yeah. Great performances all around, especially Gosling. And really strong, understated direction from Clooney. It gives you a pretty stark look at ambition and its costs.
It definitely leaves you thinking.
And maybe here's a final thought, building on that central conflict. If the film argues that pure idealism, like Stephen's initial beliefs, and the pragmatic, often corrupt reality of campaigning can't coexist, then what has to give first? What part of the ideal gets sacrificed right at the beginning for a campaign to even have a chance?
In thinking longer term, if someone like Stephen, who starts out so bright-eyed, has to compromise his soul just to survive one primary, what does that mean for the next person, the next idealistic young stacker who walks in wanting to make a difference? What path is left for them?
Yeah, does the system inevitably grind that idealism down? That's the unsettling question the film kind of leaves hanging in the air.